The Ficoroni Cista is a cylinder container for women's toiletries. Yes, it's a fancy way of saying this would sit on your vanity or a table in the bedroom. It would contain all of those things that like makeup, etc., that women would need, their general toiletries. And that's a very broad term. Anything that you would use in the bathroom would be indicated, would be sort of a toiletry here. And this would be a very popular gift. What we see is images. This piece is covered in images from Greek mythology. So here we have an image of two of these sort of demonic figures and a heroic figure in the middle. The engraving that runs around it, which you see here at the top, sort of unwrapped and recreated, is depicting episodes from Jason and the Argonauts, very famous hero story from Greek mythology. And it's likely based on a lost Greek panel painting. The Greeks, we know, did a lot of painting on wood panels. We've lost most of them. The Romans would have been aware of them. They probably collected them, but over time they break down over a couple of thousand years. So they don't survive to us except sometimes in these forms, and shows some pretty complex composition in terms of the use of foreshortening, in terms of body position, scale. This is pretty well done, especially for something that's been engraved into metal. It's a very modern composition. Here's some scenes from it, including foreshortening, three-quarter view, etc. As we go through it, for example, here we see a man in what's called three-quarter pose. So his face is turned more away from us, and the reason that we do that, for example, in portraits, in your school photo, etc., they told you to look off to one side of the camera a little bit, is it eliminates many of the asymmetries that we tend to see in the human form. Symmetry gives us the impression of beauty. And so if we eliminate anything that isn't perfectly symmetrical, for example, your eyes aren't perfectly balanced, which no one's are, when we turn the head, it's no longer that apparent. By the way, we see the same three-quarter pose over here with this bearded guy, and over here with the lion, as well as this figure here. And then we get a sense of foreshortening in some of these. For example, this man's legs seem to be coming out towards us. Same thing here, his calf here, although it's partially hidden, definitely comes out towards the viewer, giving us this impression of pretty complex compositional ideas. That's why we think it came from a painting. They're copying a very famous painting at the time and creating it, recreating it on this piece.